Bray Wyatt stole the show again. What a shocker. Rollins was out to start us off where he recapped the PPV like a good little babyface. And when he got to Wyatt's interference at Clash of Champions, Wyatt appeared, grinning innocently inside the Firefly Funhouse. And what Wyatt said was really intriguing to me. He seemed to give us a motive for going after Rollins. In the past, Rollins has done horrible things. He betrayed the Shield, turned his back on the crowd, followed Triple H's orders, and yet Rollins was forgiven for his actions. He was able to repent, in essence, and attain forgiveness from the people. Wyatt, on the other hand, he's in this purgatory-like place, suffering from the voices in his head and whatever the hell the Fiend is doing to him. And think back to the first episode of the Funhouse. Wyatt apologized straight away for his past deeds, and yet there is no forgiveness for him, is there? There is no peace. And that's why Wyatt can't let Rollins go unpunished. Misery enjoys company, after all. Rollins' use of the pedigree was actually some really good foreshadowing. It reminded us of his past, and he's about to pay for those sins. Fast forward to the end of the show and that's exactly what happened. A bunch of heels ganged up on Rollins until Kane came out to make the save. You know, the Kane that helped aid Rollins when he was the Authority's puppet. And that's exactly when the Fiend struck. Wyatt took down Kane with these before crawling to Rollins, who was trembling in the corner of the ring. Rollins had his eyes closed as Wyatt was laughing to end the show. Wyatt literally can't do anything wrong anymore. It's incredible. King Corbin art man. What to say? I was impressed by Baron Corbin all throughout the King of the Ring finals. He was great in his role and really helped Chad Gable get the cheers he deserved by the end. This match was the highlight of the night in terms of actual wrestling. They got the time to work a longer match, the cool lighting for the match introduction, and all of that. They deserved it too. So with that said, I'm not necessarily angry that Corbin won. I'm just resigned to the fact that I'm probably going to hate to what's coming. Corbin has always been an arrogant character, and one that picks on the smaller guys to get where he wants, except that he always has come up short in the past. He was such an unbearable presence as Constable near the end that the McMahons basically threw him under the bus in that "Hey, we're going to be better" segment however long ago. And look at him now. Nothing's changed. He's the same guy with the same disposition, except he's got a shiny crown to back up his bullshit. I'm happy he won on some level. Corbin's been a really solid talent for WWE and he's stepped up big when they've needed him in the past. He deserved an accolade to match his service to the company. But if he's going the route that I assume he's going, I'm going to hate it. Abita Cook, okay WWE. Let's have a talk here. You have your anti-bullying campaign, right? That campaign is meant to help children learn how to get along with each other. Your programming is also meant for children, which means that you've got a responsibility to, you know, have some sort of value. Which brings me to this Canellis crap. What are they even going for? Maria had a gender reveal party where she announced her baby's going to be a boy. She also said the child is actually Ricochet's, which made the poor guy stutter and deny it to no avail. Mike slapped him and challenged him to a match, which Ricochet won. Ricochet's part in this didn't bother me at all. He was charmingly awkward and tried to be the cool head in all of this. The problems were Titus O'Neil and the Street Profits egging him on and making stupid jokes at Maria's expense. It's just gross, man. If you're talking about women like that, stop. Please. And then freaking Rusev of all people was revealed as the father and Mike rolled over for the guy trying to get out of a fight. Then Graves dropped the "Cook" line, which is as trash as it gets. You know why I don't tell folks in my daily life that I watch wrestling, WWE. I'm embarrassed that I even have to review this crap. The rest: Sasha Banks and Bayley Def. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. It's interesting how they booked this match. I'd assume that WWE didn't want the heels to get a win over the tag shoms cleanly, so Bayley showed off her evil side by busting up Bliss's leg. She was taken to the back to essentially make this a handicap match. The story here is that as Banks was getting ready to smash Cross with a chair after the match, Becky Lynch came out with a chair of her own to make the save. Soon enough, all four horsewomen were out with chairs. Consider that battle line drawn. The O.C. Def. Cedric Alexander, the Viking Raiders. This was a fun opening match, but this is quickly becoming a trend, isn't it? Alexander is the opening act. That seems to indicate that WWE trusts him to open shows on a high note. I just wish it'd convert into some wins. Rey Mysterio Def. Cesaro, another Rey Mysterio redemption match. I love who they're picking for these fights, and I like the fact that it's a simple story we can look forward to each week. We know we're going to get a fun, moderate-length Mysterio match on Mondays. That's solid. Braun Strowman sends the tag teams scurrying. He's bitter about losing a Universal Championship match yet again and took it out on the Revival, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. It just kind of was what it was. Kane wins, loses the 24/7 championship. I dislike this mainly because I live in Memphis and loathe the University of Tennessee. Get Neyland Stadium and that gaudy orange off my television. I'm kidding, obviously. This was fine for what it was. Lacey Evans Def. Dana Brooke. These two fought a short match right before the main event. Evans won with the sharpshooter, so I guess she and Natalya are feuding. I think I need to start being a bit harsher with my grading. This episode was fine, for the most part. I'm all in on Wyatt, of course, but I have no emotional attachment to Rollins. Banks vs. Lynch in the cell should rock, but beyond that, it all feels the same. Grade C. If not for Wyatt, this grade would be lower. Too harsh, cage side. Let's block ads. Why?